Sometimes, just reading a book is enough and we are ready to go. And sometimes you just need a little bit more work. You need more guidance, or you feel stuck, or one area of your life is maybe feeling a bit overwhelming. Through my work, I found that it's three main areas or pillars, as I like to call them, that are important, and we have to work on each one of them in order to find that, true energy within. Firstly, it's our holistic.
Welcome to a new episode of Most Memorable Journeys. My guest today is a beautiful lady who discovers the goddess in you. And I love that expression. She is an author and a female empowerment coach. She does a lot of other things. She's written several books. She works in her family's company, trading company. She is also a partner in a health center, Damaris Health Center in Nicosia. And she is my friend. Welcome to Most Memorable Journeys, Mikaela Messiou.
Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for having me. It's fantastic to be here. I really admire your work.
Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you very much. The last time I got in touch with you is because I had some questions. How was the Amalfi Coast?
The Amalfi Coast was so beautiful. It was amazing. We had some time there this summer. We enjoyed our time so much because it has such a beautiful energy, that place. We had a lovely time with family and friends, and we enjoyed amazing food. Italy is always, wherever you go, I think in Italy is always so nice. And I mean, the food is excellent everywhere. And the places, I mean, Positano and Capri were just breathtaking.
You make it, yeah, I'm even more excited now because, I'm Swiss and Italy is our neighbor. So we drive. When I used to live in Switzerland, we go for the weekend to Italy. But I have never been to the Amalfi Coast, and I'm very curious and very much looking forward to it.
You
But
will enjoy it.
we are not here to talk about the Amalfi Coast, even though we will talk a little bit more about travel. You have just written another book. How many books do you have so far?
Well, I started writing back in 2020. Although this has been in the back of my mind for many years, I never found the time. And in 2020 through to about 2023, I wrote three small books in English about awakening the goddess within. And now, for the past few months, I've been deep into the writing mode again for a Greek book this time. So it comes out this autumn. And it's my journey through this transformation of awakening the goddess within and everything I've learned through this journey, putting it all together into this new book.
Because what you're saying here, and is something that I also experience when we coach people or when we write books, we also work on ourselves.
Sure. Many times I feel that I'm writing just to tell myself certain things and to make those things into a reality for me as well. So it's a work in progress for everybody. And it's really important to continue this work throughout our lives, to empower our own life and our own feelings and wants, but also to empower other people. In my case, I'm working towards empowering women to really find their true self.
Tell me, is there a goddess in every woman?
Of course there is, but the problem is that sometimes she's sleeping and she's deep inside, and her voice is gone through this whole noise that we have all around us. So we just have to find her. We have to awaken her, to spark that little, interest into trying to reach our full potential, to reach what we want to do in our lives. Many times through working with women, I hear them saying, yes, I want to do this, but my work is so demanding, I don't have time, or I need to sacrifice my own wants because I'm raising a family. Women often feel that they are selfish to take care of themselves. We are nurturing our energy is so nurturing, we try to give so much to our family, to our friends, to our work, to advance our careers. But then, if we don't take care of our own self and our own real needs, we are not in a position to offer what we want to do for our family and for our friends and for our work. So it's truly important, and it's the foundation of whatever we want to do in our lives.
Yeah, that is very true because you can't give if you don't have. I mean, there is, when the battery is
Yes,
empty, you cannot
exactly.
continue working. You have to recharge it, and that's probably one of the parts that you do. But you also are starting, or you're doing a program, a 90 days program about the goddess in you. How does that work?
That is a very individualized program. It's a coaching, a mentoring program that I do with women one on one. And for me, September is such a time of restarting, of rebirth. So I'm starting this program again this September, just to give the opportunity for more women to work directly one on one, to go through this transformation process, because sometimes we just need somebody to hold our hand, to walk through everything, to talk about our obstacles or our problems or what we're facing, and find ways to overcome them. Just sometimes talking about the problems or the challenges that we are facing, and following a structured program and a way to overcome them is what we really need to go to the next level, to find the next step.
So you're doing this one-to-one individually because maybe in some women the goddess is a little bit deeper than in others. It takes a little longer to find her.
Yes, it's true. Sometimes, just reading a book is enough and we are ready to go. And sometimes you just need a little bit more work. You need more guidance, or you feel stuck, or one area of your life is maybe feeling a bit overwhelming. Through my work, I found that is three main areas or pillars, as I like to call them, that are important, and we have to work on each one of them in order to find that true energy within. Firstly, it's our holistic wellness. It's how we feel, how we are as individuals, mind, body, and spirit. Just reminding ourselves of the simple, even things that we know, we intrinsically know these things, but we forget to practice them. We just need somebody to tell us, take care of yourself, drink some water. Did you drink water today? Even the simplest things, have a good sleep, things that we know, but we really need to be mindful about taking care. The second pillar is financial freedom. And I've seen women that are trying to do everything right, but they stress about finances and they depend on others, on their husband or on their family for finances. And if that happens, it's very stressful and it creates so much anxiety that you cannot be truly well if your finances are not in order. So I've made it my mission to help and support women to go through this journey of transformation, to find their freedom financially, to be independent, to be able to stand there on their own two feet and make decisions about their lives that are not influenced by a lacking perspective in their finances. Unfortunately, I've seen women who even stay in unhappy marriages just because they're not able to, or they are worried, they're afraid to support their own selves financially. The third pillar, which is equally important, is our home life. So it's how we feel at home, domestic bliss. And this is how we feel when we close our home door in the evening. Sometimes I see lots of women, we just see our home as a list of chores, a list of things to do, an endless task of, taking care of everybody, taking care of the house, and it becomes such a stressful environment, that we're not even ourselves in our own home. And again, there are simple steps that we can take, and maybe we need some guidance to go through that as well, to make our home into our own, even our sanctuary, the place that we feel like ourselves, that we are truly we can enjoy it, and we can create memories with our families and with our friends. And when we combine these three pillars, that's when I believe that we found our the goddess within, our true power. And that's when we can do everything.
That sounds wonderful. And at the same time, hard to do. And I know that I am not supposed to say that because I am a coach myself, but sometimes reality is so much different to what we would like it to be. There's one thing that I personally often struggle with when I coach people or when I speak to people, and I wonder how you handle it. And that is people who are never responsible for their decisions, people who are always victims. How do you deal with those?
It's true that victim mentality, and I talk about this in the book, that you have to take responsibility for yourself. Problems are within life. It's health problems or work problems or relationships, lots of things that happen in our life. We cannot wait for the problem to be over to take care of ourselves. That's what I'm always trying to say. You cannot wait for, this to finish and then you will do this for yourself. It doesn't work like that way. It will never finish. This is life. Something else will come up. This is a work in progress. And sometimes we are at a better level and sometimes we are on a lower level just because of things happening around us. But we can never stop. And that's sometimes we need some push, a bit of help, friends around us, our family, or a mentor, a coach to help us deal with that. But if someone is not ready to take the step, if they're blaming others, they're not going to have any progress in this transformation. Unless you decide to take responsibility for your life, take responsibility for whatever is happening around you, accept it, even forgive people around you that have never apologized, just so that you can move on. That's really important.
This is so true. And I love the way you say it. And, especially forgiving is a huge thing. And people feel sometimes I listen to people and I feel like it's a trophy that they hate somebody. They don't realize that they're only doing harm to themselves because that person who they hate doesn't care. That
Exactly.
person is having a good time somewhere in a bar or whatever. I
Yes,
think this
exactly.
is so important.
Yes, it's such a waste of energy. There's no reason to focus your energy on other people. We can never be liked by everybody. We don't like everybody. That's normal. That's life. You just select your friends. Be mindful about who you have in your life. Make sure you have people that have your back, that really you trust, and they trust you, and they would not talk badly about you behind your back.
Yeah, that's true. And coming back to that also that came to my mind when you were talking about domestic bliss, because we do spend time thinking about what other people think of us. And we show something. Domestic bliss is not about that. That's your own thing, isn't it? That is your oyster where you go back and nobody needs to know about it. And, what you're saying is that it's important that you do things just for yourself and not for others, if I understand that right.
Exactly, you understand it perfectly. One of the things I mention in the book is that sometimes we decorate our living room in such a beautiful way, and then we just neglect our bedroom because we only see it. But our bedroom, the place that we spend time in, is the most important area of our home. We have to take care of it. We have to love it. We have to decorate it in the way that really represents us. Another thing that's important to do is that we save our the candles or the nice decorations for using when we have guests. we shouldn't do that. We should just use them every day for our own, appreciation, for our own enjoyment, for our family, for daily, get-togethers. It doesn't have to be a special occasion to light the candles or to set the table in a beautiful way. Those are the little things that make our home life so enjoyable. And then it's those things that are memorable and they stay for our family and friends.
Yes, and I think it's important to realize that life is a special occasion and we never know how much of it we have left.
Yes, exactly.
Do you handle, I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was sort of saying, we were talking about dying because, we were talking about how many summers we have left. That was the question. And I said, that's my favorite subject. I love talking about death, not because I like death, but because it makes you realize how important it is to live.
Time is so precious and you never know how much of it you have. Time with our family, with our children, with our loved ones is so limited in reality because we work, we do so many things. We have to find it really to find the time to spend with the people that we love and find the time to do the things we like. Very often, as I said before, women say, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to go to the spa, or I don't have time to spend on myself. And even if they do it feeling guilty. They do it as if they shouldn't be doing it. But our time is so valuable that we need to schedule time for us. Me time, it's so important.
This is very important. I have also noticed something else, and I don't know if you share this, paying for a coach or paying for a mentor. They say, oh, this is expensive. I don't know if I can pay that. But they have the money to go do their nails, do their hair, do their whatever else. And they don't really realize how important the soul is. And that's another thing that we don't see. You see, it's like the house, it's like the domestic bliss. I think
Yes.
this is one thing that we need to become so aware of, that we don't live for other people.
We live in a culture where you have to appear to be, wealthy, beautiful, this and that, traveling the world. But if you dig deeper, many times this is just a fake persona. This is not what happens in real life. And one of the parallels that I make when I write is that your Instagram feed is not your real life. We do not aspire to become goddesses in inverted commas just to have a beautiful Instagram feed and to have nice pictures and to appear to have everything in life. That's not what we're talking about. We need to have the reality in our lives that is truly what we want, and really work on those things that don't show, that people wouldn't know that you're spending money or time to do that. And it has to do with growing yourself, learning, continuously going through this process of uh, learning new things, getting new information, subjects that you never knew about, talking with people that will broaden your horizons and improve your knowledge of so many different subjects.
And reading a book, like, for
Yes.
example, your books. Where can people buy your books?
My books are online, so through my website you can find the links to buy my books online, either physically or as an ebook. The new book, the Greek one, will come out this autumn. So once it's out, I hope to have a new link that people can go through. So everything is through my website. They can find the information.
Which we will put in the show notes. We will put your website in the show notes, so people who are interested in knowing more or even getting in touch with you, the link will be in the show notes. But we're not done yet. I haven't finished. We still have more to discuss. I want to talk a little bit about financial freedom, because personally, I learned that from a very, very early age. I knew that money is so important, not because you want to show off to other people, because I was very poor as a child and I started working very young because I didn't like the situation. And what you were saying before, that there are women staying in relationships because they depend, they they depend on a husband who they probably don't like anymore, or so many reasons. But if somebody listens now, they will say, oh yeah, that's easier said than done. You know, people feel helpless. Women feel helpless in these situations. Do you have maybe a little tip or something? How do you start? What is the first step, or what should somebody do who is in such a situation?
It's true that women feel helpless in these situations. Research shows that stress and anxiety mainly comes from money issues or the worry of losing a job. That's the people's number one reason why they cannot sleep at night. And that's really important. For women specifically, what I suggest, a few easy things that everybody should do, even no matter your current situation or where you find yourself in. First of all, you should always have a private fund of your own, it's only for you, your own private fund. That's not family fund or an emergency fund or for your children's studying or whatever. It's your own emergency private fund that you create little by little every month. And that if you are in a relationship that you feel that you cannot share this information, you might even need to keep it secret. But this is something that you need to have, and it's your little pillar that makes you be a little bit more free in your mind. If you need to make a move, make a change in your life, you have a bit of funding on the side. The other important thing is that we always need to invest in our future self. We cannot just think of today. So many women, so many people work and just spend as if there's no tomorrow, and then they find themselves in difficult situations after when they're older and they're not able to gain as much as they used to. It's really important that we think about our future self and we save for our future self and we invest for our future self. Not everything that comes in must be spent today. So we have to separate our income into several, let's say, pots where, one of those needs to be for your future self. And that pot, it can, if you don't know how, you can get some help, but it can grow, and it can grow substantially over the years, so that when you are in a situation or when you have an emergency or medical or whatever you have, you know that you have this pot that will support you no matter what. So there are simple and easy things that people can do. The last thing I need to stress is that there needs to be a change in mindset. Sometimes we have just a lacking mindset where we believe that this is not for me, this is not something that I can do, it's not possible for me, it's not something that I will ever be able to afford. This mindset in and by itself makes us not be able to succeed in life. So we have to change that, and sometimes we need a bit of help to do that. We need to change the mindset and to appreciate that we can do whatever we want. We just need a bit of support on the way. We need to have a structure, a plan. We need to work towards that in the same way that we work in a gym for our body. It's the same. You have to be consistent. You have to be to know what you're doing. Maybe get some help in the same way, and then your mindset shifts and everything changes.
You know, this is so true. And it's this scarcity mindset that you're talking about. And this is what so many people have. And also realizing that we are already rich without money, that the most beautiful things in life are free. It's a sunset. It's I don't know. It's appreciating these things that are free. But if you don't appreciate anything, then I think money doesn't also not come. It doesn't come so easily then.
Exactly. And, financial freedom, we aspire to it not for, materialistic reasons. Yes, we might want to buy that dress or whatever. But the main reason why we want to have financial freedom is so that we can have the luxury of choosing what to do with our own time. So if we want to sit back and enjoy the sunset, we can do it because we have that, financial freedom to be able to do that. We can work from a beach if we like. That's the ultimate aim.
Yeah, that is so true. You said something else that I liked, very, very important, and it was little by little, because that's another thing that many people often think, it has to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Nobody becomes famous overnight. Nobody becomes rich overnight. Okay, unless you are somebody's child, but little by little, and people don't really realize how fast it could add up if we do put a little bit on the side. you know
True.
and as you said, nobody needs to know it.
Yes. The most important part in that little by little is consistency. You have to be consistent. You have to do the work, believe in the outcome, even when the outcome is not there yet. And as an entrepreneur, whoever has started a business or has gone through this journey, you believe in the outcome before you can see it. And maybe some people think you're crazy along the way, but that's how it works.
It's nice when people think you're crazy. I think many people think I'm crazy. I love that. But what you're saying is it's like New Year's resolutions. I think 80% of New Year's resolutions are out the window by the 1st of February or even earlier. Consistency is key in everything, in health, in finances, in relation, everything.
Yes.
And that should be really, consistency is like the top thing in our lives. Now, my podcast is called Most Memorable Journeys. I want to hear a little bit, because we've talked a lot about life now and the goddesses, but what are your favorite journeys? Which places of the world do you like? Or what is your place, your go-to place?
As you might have guessed, I love Italy. So whenever I can, I love to explore Italy. There's so many beautiful places. I can never get enough of it. I think that every little village has its own charm, its own story. You can find beautiful food in every corner, even in places that you wouldn't imagine to be, especially beautiful in terms of decoration. But you find such amazing food. You find lovely people, so open, so authentic. So yes, I love to visit Italy. Having said that, um, really what I found is that wherever we travel, we bring what we have in our own mind. So if we are not well, if we are stressed or angry or we're sad, we will bring that with us in wherever we go, and that place becomes sad and angry and everything else that we feel. So really, to enjoy the journey, you have to work on yourself. It always comes back to that. It's so important to take your best self with you when you're traveling so that you have the best of times. Many times when you hear stories of people going to the same place, they sound so different just because one person took a negative mindset and another person took a positive mindset with them. And even things that are challenging while traveling can be positive experiences when you have the right mindset.
Oh, it's so true. It all goes back to appreciating the little things. When I was a tour guide, when I was young, I was working for this company that, had all sorts of trips, and some were more expensive than others. And I always used to feel that the more expensive the trip became, the more miserable the people were who were traveling with me, which really showed me that money does not buy happiness, because these
Yes.
people were looking for something to complain about just because they had paid a lot of money. That is stupid, and it happens. It's true.
Oh my God. Yes. So
So
nice to hear.
now we're coming to the end, Mika. And I was going to say, even your name sounds Italian, Mikaela Messiou.
Thank you.
Coming to the end, I don't know if we have covered everything that we wanted to cover. What would you want to add? Is there anything else that we didn't talk about?
Um, I think we gave a very spherical overview of what we wanted to talk about. But the most important is not to drown our little voice in the noise of our life. Lots of things are going on in our life, health problems, problems with work, everything that happens, that's life, and it will never stop. So sometimes we need a push, we need some help, we need a friend to say, you need to take care of yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. You're a priority, and you have to make yourself a priority throughout life, no matter what's going on around you, or rather, especially when there's problems around you. Otherwise, you will not even be able to offer your best self to those that you want to support.
If people could see you, because this is audio only, my podcast, but I think that you have that goddess brought out very well in you. You are shining, and I love the way you are shining. If anybody needs help, Mikaela is definitely the go-to person to contact, or to just start by reading the books, because sometimes you need to, when you read somebody's book, you start to get to know the person a little bit. But I think investing in yourself and finding somebody who takes, you said it before, who just takes you by the hand. Sometimes you just need somebody to who listens to you, and they don't need guidance, because guidance is individual. It may come, but I think you are definitely one person that I would allow to find the goddess in me.
Really, thank you so much for your kind words. I really admire your work. I think you are a goddess already. You don't need guidance from anybody. You are really an example to follow.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for taking the time to be on Most Memorable Journeys today. Mikaela Messiou.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
If you enjoy my podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You will find all the information in the show notes.